Come on in alive. There's some things that we need to talk about. For those that are members, future members, those of you that have already purchased readings, those of you that want to, this is an informative video for you. Now, the first thing I want to address is because I'm aware that several beings are attempting to highlight certain members because you feel like they're wealthy, what I'm going to say is there's two Jennies in my membership. Now, as far as tier 6 goes, the person that is on that tier is aware of the protocol. Now, if you need to be informed again, what this speaks of is if you go to tier 6 as a member, that means that it is a membership reading. So therefore, it won't go public and it's uploaded to the membership for a reason. Now, if you decide to contact me personally for a one-on-one, those are the ones that are not in the membership. Now, it's a reason why I do it like that. And one of the reasons is because during the last 3 years of all of this ascension, people decided that they wanted to come after me spiritually. Now, this is something the big G, not the little one, is fully aware of. However, after the time progressed and they seen that all of their fake alliances were diminishing, they decided that they would either become members or say that they were me. Now, the reason why it's important is I have someone that is contacting me about a reading, but they're not following protocol. So what that means is if you want a reading, you reach out to me, I send you the contract, you do all the things that are specified in the reading, in the email for a reason, okay? Because if you have a common name, that means you are not getting someone else's reading. Now, I do understand that some of you want to see other people's readings, and this is the reason why you choose their name for the purpose of doing so. I had to do so much energy clearing from my members, and for some, they decided that they would go back into another fake alliance to somehow make me look foolish. Now, I've already informed everyone publicly before that it was going up because of the clearing that needs to take place in your energy. Now, if you want to play, that's on you, but you're not going to play on my top. Now, if you're currently waiting for a one-on-one reading with me specifically, I need for you to go in and do what is listed in the contract so I can proceed on. Because what's not going to happen is a railroading of my business. We're not going to do that. You can't reach out to me and want help and want clearing and then go back into another karmic contract with someone you feel is more powerful to somehow overthrow me. That's not finna happen. Now, I do understand that some of you have come together in the attempt to see my downfall, and you're willing to pay for it. So I'm going to oblige you, and I'm going to say that when you look at that contract that you surely have, you're going to see that there is things that you did not follow. Now, deleting certain messages and resending certain messages does not mean that I am ooped, okay? If you haven't contacted me within the same week of sending money before you receive the contract, you don't know if things have changed or not. And like I said, once it's there, it's non-refundable. And it's like that for a reason. So if you know that you sent me any type of donation for one-on-one, that means You have to follow protocol in order for me to be able to provide you this service. Now, when I said publicly, right, that if you join tier 6, specifically tier 6, and you want that 1 hour instruction to not be viewable by the public, then you would have to contact me first. And then I will guide you on what to do. Not, I'm going to get partial of these readings in the membership and partial not. It don't work like that. And it's like that for a reason. This company takes their cut. You understand what I'm saying? So now that you understand that I'm not UPID, when you decide that you're going to contact me from the right email that has the contract on it, then we can proceed on. Because what's not, well, what I can do is just provide you a reading minus the clearing. So I'll intuit the energy and don't provide no clearing. Capiche? Because I feel like some believe that I'm UPID. First and foremost, there's no reason why you would want me to be in poverty. I ain't did nothing to you. When I told you that everyone that you have affiliations with are the individuals that you need to be leery of, you decided that that was not for you. And I'm telling you that it is. It shows with every reach out. Every time you email me, I know that that energy is the energy of Konfosi, which is not coming from me. So when you decide that we are going to move on, we're going to move on, the big G, not the little one. Because what I feel right now is someone is attempting to send out chaos. Instead of doing what you need to do, you want to see if you could do something to me. For what reason? There are several things that are going to take place. Several. But I'm not going to give you the heads up because that would be UPID, right? For some reason, it's a certain group that feel they have to win, even though in the beginning it was all for ish and giggles. The destruction of my life. It's funny how the tables turn. Here you are believing that I'm down bad by your hands while wanting my assistance. You know, Ricky Smiley talked about something like this in one of his recent uploads. He talked about people that disrespect you publicly and then apologize privately in so many words. You know, Mr. Smiley, I've had a lot of that. And I often wonder why, because I've never, ever touched as much money as you. And probably won't in this body. You know what I'm talking about? But for some reason, when they hear me, when they see my work, they want me to fall, and not just slightly. I've watched so much happen on this particular platform. So much. Things I've addressed publicly and things that I do not address because it's not for the public. But to know that someone would get in my membership and play with me is disrespectful. Now, you are aware that other members know of the Confesi because they have true gifts. When they separated you from the others that were doing things to you, you said, I'm going to get on my knees. And when you did, he lifted you back up. Because apparently what they wanted for you is detriment. So when you decide that you are going to follow protocol and not try to railroad me, we can proceed on. Because as of right now, you have 24 hours to follow the specifics that is presented in that contract. Or you just get a regular reading. Now, what I do understand is that you are one of the ones that feel like every crescent moon, you could try to mask yourself while avoiding all of the signs that you're unmasked. You know what I know? Is that you feel like I'm confused. And because you went up a tier, you thought you were going to be able to view someone else's reading. Now you see that that energy is so far away from you, it's unattainable. So my advice is to just delete that whole YT because it is a facade and come anew. Now, what's going to happen is when I do your reading, I'm going to address everything that you did not do along with the contract and send you the reading. When you decide that you need me again, I'm going to refund you your money, so don't send it because I don't do bad business. If you decide you're going to donate, then donate, but don't play with me. There's so many of you that watch me that borrow juicy tidbits and sit and wait for me to say that I'm busted and disgusted so you could fake intuit it in a reading. I've been here almost a decade on this platform. So that means every good reader I've already seen. Already seen them. So if anyone has any questions, now is the time. What is currently happening is someone is trying to figure out if they should speak in the chat so who she believes she's in alliance with can see it, when he's already told you not to do that. Now, everyone's finances is in an uproar because of your poor decisions. I said don't do it. It wasn't going to fly. But you believe because you're on tier 2, not tier 3, 4, 5, or 6, that it will work. And that's not the case. When I said what I said, it wasn't for the purpose of your personal gain. No. You understand what I'm talking about? This is for a collective of people, because we understand that when I do better, y'all do better. And when y'all do better, he gives more blessings. This is how it works. You are also one of the ones that feel like since I read for celebrities, the celebrities should be supportive of me financially, supporting me. You don't know what's taking place behind the scenes. All you know is I said I was being evicted. But you never said what happened to you. Interesting enough, when I scroll my timeline on different devices, I see different things. It's been an upsurging of individuals that are now feeling confident enough to tell what is truly happening in their lives. Now, there could be speculations taking place. Are these the individuals that were playing in my mind? Some, yes. But some were being played with. You remember? I'm set against yes, I'm set against yes. Me. Just trifling. Now, if you believe that I've read for you and I don't know what's happening spiritually, you're wrong, because he does too. So when you go over there and you decide that you're going to bind him again, refer to that last upload. Because some of you are going to be able to view it. Now, to my tier 6 members, I'm going to get you your reading soon. And the reason why I say soon is because this is taking place. And by this, I mean crescent moons and incantations and splifka and anything that you happen to run across on Google. So, now that I've stated it publicly, it's for public view. If and when someone decides to say I didn't give them their reading, it is because they didn't follow protocol. And in my contract, I said, once I receive it, it's non-refundable. You know what I'm talking about? So for those of you that have gotten a refund, I didn't have to. This is the reason why I have the membership. It hasn't happened on CA. But this is the reason why. Because YouTube is my medium. For those that say they don't have CA, you know, you have YT, you have debit, credit, and therefore you can use that. That's your other options. So there's no excuse. If you really want it, you're going to pay for it. like you did that excursion to the Mohasiki for a shaman to blow smoke up your keister. I don't like being in this energy, you know. But this is what some do to the real chosen. You know what I'm talking about? That HIT different. Ether calls herself the real chosen, because I'm in the light one. When I informed you that you were not chosen, you decided that you would go after someone that you feel is. And this is what you continuously do every day, every chance you get. Because you've been misinformed. For those of you that have been with me for years, you are already aware of the Odyssey they attempted on me and my lineage. Because these ones are savvy. They see things like they, we, them, love, supporters, donators. And this is the reason why I am who I am. Why my rank is like it is. They know it, but they're not going to say it publicly. What they're going to say in the minds of those they believe they are in alliance with is I'm Ether, Sadagisias, River Maiden Mystic, River Maiden Goddess, I'm Mystique, I'm this, I'm that. And then go and try to watch a reading because they feel like if they say it when they're on my channel, that it'll somehow affect me in a negative manner. You know, there was a time where when I went to heal someone via pendulum, I would get, he's on your channel, chanting. So I don't use that technique anymore. Now you all understand why you get it. Because of me. I said, okay, you want to play with me? Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. You see how that worked? If it ever came to that, you know what would happen? My body of work versus your internet history. That's what it would be. She thinks she's savvy enough to erase it. Is that right? You feel like you can erase all of it. But the thing about calling me out is you have to put yourself out there. And when you start saying, I'm an Aquarius, and we know you're a Taurus or a Scorpio, just for instance, it'll come out in the readings because it already did. And then everyone else that you actually did it to will say, that was you. So what we're going to do now is just be quiet. Because she's searching the contract to see where she's at in line. Don't bypass the top portion. You know what's going to happen? Is they're going to say, in order for you to come off that kisafasi that you have, you're going to need a past life, present karma reading. You see that at the top? So if that's what you're waiting for, a past life, present karma reading, you definitely have to bless that CA. You know what I'm talking about? Because word around the angels is that's what you're telling him. And that's not what she got. So that is it.